Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English channel. In our today's video, we are going to discuss one of the more important protected areas in the state of Assam, that is Kaziranga National Park. But why are we discussing Kaziranga? Let us understand our today's discussion by understanding the geography of the region. Now, Kaziranga National Park in Assam is located on the floodplains of Brahmaputra River. So you understand mining activities, if it happens in this region, it will automatically erode the coastlines of the national park, promoting the water from Brahmaputra River to flow inside the national park. And this problem will exacerbate, especially when rainy season is there, because the flow of water increases much more during the rainy season in Brahmaputra River. So cognizant of this fact, based on the reports of Central Empowered Committee, the Supreme Court earlier it had prohibited all mines and related activities in the region near Kaziranga National Park, but the Central Empowered Committee has reported to Supreme Court right now that despite their ban, illegal mining has continued, and not just continued, it has intensified in the Park Prahar area near the national park that we are discussing today. Now, Kaziranga, it forms a very important wildlife corridor which exists between Brahmaputra floodplain as well as Karbi Anglong Hills. So that is why promoting the ecology, protecting the integrity of the Kaziranga National Park becomes very important. So in this regard, let us understand important national parks of Assam and where is Kaziranga located. Now, Kaziranga is located right here in the floodplains of Brahmaputra River, between the Brahmaputra River as well as the Karbi Anglong Hills. Now, in total, there are 8 national parks located in Assam. This image, obviously, it will tell you that there are 7 national parks, but the latest national park, that is Sikhna Jwalao, is located in between this region, that is between Raimona and Manas, and this is the 8th national park of Assam, that is Sikhna Jwalao National Park. Now, I've covered Sikhna Jwalao National Park in a separate video. I've provided the link here, so you can click on the link after the session ends and watch more details about the Sikhna Jwalao National Park. Now, we were discussing Kaziranga National Park, so back to our discussion. Okay, now the location of Kaziranga obviously is in Assam, but in the districts of Golaghat and Nagaon, between the Brahmaputra River and Karbi Hills, right? Now, the rivers which are flowing through the Kaziranga National Park obviously is Brahmaputra, but more importantly, one of the tributaries of Brahmaputra, that is Difalu. It is a tributary of Brahmaputra and flows through the national park, while another tributary, Mora Difalu, it flows alongside the southern boundary of the Kaziranga National Park. Now, in addition to being called as a national park, this has been designated as a tiger reserve, important bird area, as well as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, particularly a natural heritage site. Now, this also is located at the junction of very important flyways that the migratory birds used to migrate during the winter season, that is between Australian and Indo-Asian flyway. That is why it has been designated as an important bird area. So these are the facts that are important from Kaziranga National Park perspective. Now let us understand few more details about flora and fauna of the region, right? Now it is the largest undistributed area in the Brahmaputra Valley floodplain. That is why even in ecological terms this becomes important. Whereas in terms of plants that are available in the region, this is famous for its tall elephant grasses. Now, tall elephant grasses, these are mostly available in marshlands, Terai region, which we know in northern plains. So that is why these are categories of marshlands. In addition to elephant grass, rattan cane, as well as aquatic plants like water hyacinth and lotus, these are also available in Kaziranga National Park. Now coming back to the animals. Now the flagship species of Kaziranga National Park, these are greater one-horned rhinoceros, also called as Indian rhinoceros. In addition to rhinoceros, there are hoolock gibbon, predators like tiger, leopard, other species like Indian elephant, sloth bear, wild water buffalo, swamp deer, etc. But the most important species of the Kaziranga obviously is Indian rhinoceros or greater one-horned rhinoceros. Now, Kaziranga National Park, it hosts the largest population of Indian one-horned rhinoceros. That is, as per the latest census of 2022, this number stood at 2613 one-horned rhinoceros. So in terms of rhinoceros, the largest population of rhinoceros living anywhere, that is one-horned rhinoceros, these are living in Kaziranga National Park. Now, this is the species I was talking about, greater one-horned rhinoceros. So let us understand few more details about this species, and we'll divide our discussion on one-horned rhinoceros on three parameters: habitats, habits, as well as protection status, like we do with all species that are in use. Now, about the one-horned rhinoceros, these are officially known as greater one-horned rhinoceros, popularly called as Indo or Indian rhinoceros, and these are the largest of three species of Asian rhinos, and together with African white-horned rhinos, these are the largest of all rhino species anywhere in the world. Now, the scientific name of this species is quite important. What is the scientific name of this species? Rhinoceros unicornis. And why are they called unicornis? Obviously because of their horn, that is one horn, right? So this is why these are called unicornis. Now, the habitats of these species. I told you the important three features that we have to understand about any species: habits, habitats, as well as protection status. So let us start with habitats first. The greater one-horned rhinoceros, these are semi-aquatic animals. These often take a precedence in forests like swamp areas, forest, riversides, and anywhere that is near to nutritional mineral lake blocks. Now, mineral lake blocks are basically salt deposits that provide these animals with essential nutrients, right? Now, in terms of areas that they are spread around, these one-horned rhinoceros, in addition to India, they are also available in the country of Nepal, particularly in the foothills of Himalayan mountain range. Now, in the past, these species, that is greater one-horned rhinoceros, they roamed freely in the floodplains and forest alongside Brahmaputra, but not just Brahmaputra. They were also living in floodplain area of Ganga as well as Indus river valley. But now they are relegated only to Himalayan foothills and majorly to countries of India and Nepal. And in India particularly, they are living near the areas of Brahmaputra floodplain. Now, I told you the largest amount of these species in terms of number, they are available in Kaziranga National Park. But in terms of density, it is not Kaziranga. Rather, Pabitra Wildlife Sanctuary in Assam that has the highest rhino density. It has 107 rhinos in 16 square kilometers area. So you can understand the density of these species is highest in Pabitra, not in Kaziranga. Now let us understand the habits of these species. Now, obviously, the identification mark of this species is single black horn that is located on its forehead, and it is about 8 to 25 inches long. And the body color of these species is grey brown hide with skin folds. Now, which gives this an armor plated appearance. So in terms of the toughness, this species looks quite tough, right? Now, in terms of behavioral pattern, this species have a habit of living alone. That is, they are solitary animals, except obviously for females who are living with small calves. Now, male species, they particularly maintain loosely defended territories. That is why they prefer to live alone, and they are called as solitary animals. Now, the rhino, in terms of dietary preferences, these are primarily a grazer because their diet consists almost entirely of grasses, but it also eats leaves, branches, fruits, and aquatic plants. So basically, these are herbivorous animals. So you can understand when many people say that you require more meat to have a high protein diet, this obviously would be false, because this species, although looks tough, is primarily a herbivorous species. Now, jokes apart, let us understand the protection status of these species. Now, these greater one-horned rhinoceros in the IUCN Red List, they are categorized as vulnerable species. Similarly, CITES Convention, which looks at the level of endangerment of the species before determining whether trade is permissible or not, they are categorizing one-horned rhinoceros as Appendix 1 species, which means CITES prohibits international trade of this species except when the purpose of import is not commercial, rather for scientific purposes. So only for scientific purposes you can transfer these species to other locations, not for commercial purposes. Okay. Now, whereas India's Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is concerned, they again are provided the highest status in terms of protection as comparable to lions and tigers, because they are categorized in Schedule 1 species, which means hunting, capturing of these species is a prohibited offense. Understood? So that is why you can't either hunt them or you can't capture them. Now, more importantly, the species is protected by a separate police force in the state of Assam known as Special Rhino Protection Force, and it is a dedicated unit working within the Kaziranga National Park, formed specially to combat the instances of rhino poaching. Because why rhino poaching happened? Because the horn of these species are very high demand in black market. So the smugglers used to kill these species and harvest their their horns so that they could sell in the black market. So especially to protect these species, SRPF has been created, and SRPF is a collaboration between state government as well as central government, and this was an initiative of National Tiger Conservation Authority, right? So that is why these are the important features of Kaziranga National Park. And which are the flagship species of Kaziranga National Park? Greater one-horned rhinoceros. So what is the behavioral pattern of greater one-horned rhinoceros? These are solitary animals, except obviously females and child rhinos. And obviously they are herbivorous in nature, eating only grasses mostly. And the protection status, they are protected quite diligently by Indian laws. That is Wildlife Protection Act, it categorized them under Schedule 1, whereas IUCN, it categorized them as vulnerable species. And especially in Assam, particularly in Kaziranga, a special rhino protection force has been created, a dedicated unit to ensure that poachers do not kill one-horned rhinoceros. And that is why Assam has the highest population of greater one-horned rhinoceros, and the highest number is in Kaziranga. But where is the highest density of the greater one-horned rhinoceros? Not in Kaziranga, but in Pabitra Wildlife Sanctuary. Understood? Now, before conclusion of our today's discussion, let us understand, or let us see how many of you are able to solve this question. This is a question I've curated on the UPSC pattern, so please let me know the correct answers. And people who are living in Assam, please do let me know, have you seen greater one-horned rhinoceros or not? And if you haven't seen, why haven't you seen? Okay, so this brings an end to our today's discussion. If you want to download the notes, they will be available on the Telegram channel ATS Live. So you can either search the words ATS Live on the top right hand corner of your app, you'll find the channel. And if for some reason you're still not able to, scan this QR code and subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and download the notes which will be available there. So this is all from my side for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Please have a very good night. Okay.